All right, let me get ready to get started for everybody tonight. As always, there's a lot to talk about. A lot. We're dealing with our insane president. Let me just take a minute and get our channel set up real quick. It's only going to take a minute. Then we're going to get into this because, as always, it is more than ever. Trump has got us busier than ever. Somehow, oh wow, I got all this going on. Let me get that right. The background. Gotta have my princess. I gotta have my princesses showing. Somehow, it always gets crazier and crazier. I be thinking like it can't get no crazier than this, and then Trump shows me that I'm wrong. Like, oh, but you can't get no crazier than this. Let me put my drink down. And he gets started, and you realize, oh, he's crazier. He's even crazier still. Like it really just gets worse and worse. It's baffling how insane it is at this point. It really is. I'm like, yo, this dude can't be serious, and he is. I kind of right now want to blame Hakeem Jeffries for some of this, though, right? I know that sounds like a lot, but and nothing against Hakeem Jeffries. Look, I'm from Queens. He's from Brooklyn. He's far more successful than I am. He's done great things with his life. I'm honored to just to even be a part of a conversation with him. But he calls Trump an unserious man. Now, I get it. Trump is slinging around. There's a shutdown going on. This dude has got him in a sombrero. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Like you have him in a sombrero. But to call him unserious is, dare I say, practical foolery. I'm sorry. I'm setting up. I'm doing my setup thing, and I'm talking about things that are on my mind. You know, and the wildest thing in the world is to call this man unserious. He's got the country under siege for a fact. The country's under siege. Whether you want to admit that, don't want to admit that, it's kind of irrelevant. Like, they're running up in people's homes, they're running up in people's place of business, they're stopping cars in the street, bashing the windshields out, dragging people out, guns drawn, masks on like they robbing a bank. This is regular behavior for them. And for me, that's scary. That's very scary. Let me send my co-host the link, and then while he's trying to come in, I can really get it in because Trump is very serious. He's deadly serious. He's taking over the world serious while he's making enemies out of America's friends and befriending literal war criminals from the Oval Office, making himself richer and richer. While he's doing all of these things, Hakeem Jeffries, the best thing that Hakeem Jeffries could say is he's unserious. Now, the Democratic Party has a serious problem with messaging. The fact that people are trying to rally together, the Democrats are trying to rally together and come up with behind the message is good. The big ugly bill, that was not catchy. The big beautiful bill has a ring to it. It was one of the most heinous acts ever passed in Congress, possibly the worst, definitely in modern history. As the Midas touch puts it out, some people, you get a bunch of lawyers. What do? They're very intelligent people that know how to make an argument for the layman to be able to understand their points. So they know how to talk to people and make a convincing argument. Listen to the way these dudes talk and maybe come up with some of your talking points from them. Because you need get a rapper, get somebody that know how to spit, that can catch people's ears, and maybe let them do the talking for you, or hell, pay them and let them catch up with some catchphrases. Because unserious, he's got you dancing around in a sombrero with a stupid ass mustache, and the government shut down. He's laying siege to the cities of this country with the 5th largest army in the world. That's serious to me. That's very serious. The man is serious. He's real serious. He's ha ha ha, he look how stupid I am, while he's doing those serious things he could possibly do. It's a distraction. So let's start talking about these people for who and what they are. And I understand wanting to call them unserious. I get it. You want to, oh, my team. Oh my God, really?
This, according to Judge Crenshaw, you might even.
Oh man, give me a moment. I apologize. So, I mean, it don't get no more serious than the government shutting down while people are running up into people's apartment buildings. And what do they do when they get there? They put black people in one van and Spanish people in another. Like, it's serious. We can count this as very serious. And to say that he's unserious is, I disagree. The messaging has to change. Like, let's take JD Vance, right? JD Vance, he's like, I don't see where the racism is. And people don't know how to react to that. I was a school teacher at one time. I know how to react to that. If I had children in my classroom and they're calling each other names, and so one of the kids draws another one of the kids, and he makes him try to make him look funny, and he doesn't understand that what he's doing is wrong. I understand this is how children behave. Granted, when you get to a certain age, you should know that that's bad behavior and you don't act that way. But some children have IEPs. You can't just label them, like if a kid drew me looking funny to try and make fun of me, I wouldn't be like, you're retarded. You don't speak to children that way. You don't speak to people that have mental issues that way. You understand they have mental issues and you try and teach them. JD Vance obviously has some sort of problem. He doesn't comprehend. So instead of making fun of him, you deal with special ed people the way you deal with them. He has an IEP. You try and figure out a way you can teach him. And that's it. You don't get mad at JD Vance because he doesn't understand something that might be obvious to most people. Albert Einstein couldn't tie his shoes. So just because he couldn't tie his shoes, does that mean he was not an unabridged genius? Just because he has a problem with comprehension on something that to you might seem simple, doesn't make him a bad person. It makes him somebody who doesn't comprehend. So, and Trump is the same. Well, Trump, you can look at his behavior and look at his pattern of behavior. The fact that he's commencing serious, terrible, horrible acts and doing it while laughing and playing around. You can't address him the same way as you do JD Vance. JD Vance has a learning disability. Trump is being mean. So with Trump, you have to come a little harder. You want to label him unserious is not the label. He talked about mental decline of Joe Biden. So how that stuck? He's walking around making AI videos of people in sombreros during the government shutdown. And y'all can't come up with a label for him? I mean, he's making AI videos of people spitting racist speeches, fake news. He's creating insane things during a government shutdown while he has the 5th largest army in the world hunting down people in their apartment buildings, in their places of work, in churches and schools. You can come up with a name for the guy. I would personally make it something that showed his mental decline. But you don't have to take advantage of his mental decline or his insanity. Go for the insanity. I'd go after the insanity. You know, insane Trump. I don't know. I'll come up with something and it'll stick because there's something wrong with the guy. It's obvious. The things that he's doing, there's something wrong with him. The government shutdown is he's talking about, oh, we're going to get to fire people. This is great. This is great. You're going to take away people's livelihoods. And in celebration, you're making cartoon drawings of people with sombreros or AI drawings or whatever little kid bullying 3rd grade stuff you're doing. I would definitely take advantage of the fact that there's something wrong with Trump and label him with that, not that unserious thing that the Democrats are going to bond behind because Hakeem Jeffries, the first Black highest ranking man in America right now. Like, I get it. He's Black. He's high ranking. He's not getting the job done. Hakeem Jeffries is a brilliant man. His last speech I watched, I wanted to stand up and applaud. Not the one where he started sounding like a preacher. Not that one. But he's brilliant. But he doesn't talk to the people on a consistent basis the way they need to be talked to. He talks like an old preacher. He talks like Malcolm X spoke. He speaks like Martin Luther King spoke. He preaches. He attempts to reach people at a higher intellect. But that's not the mode this country's on right now. We have a talk show host, a guy who had his own sitcom for all intents and purposes, sputtering rhetoric, and that's what we got. So you got to talk to people like, oh, wait a minute, let's get down and dirty, let's do it. So, unserious is, yes, he's unserious, but he's dangerous. He's dangerous. ICE running up, putting Black people in one van and Hispanic people in the one van, and people like, what about the children? And I saying, F them children. This is what he wanted. This is what he was after. This was the game plan. Oh, I don't know nothing about Project 2025, Project 20. I don't know nothing. Oh, time to call up Mr. Vought. All right, it's time for the next step. Government shutdown, Tom. Oh, we didn't see that coming. Like, we saw that coming. Agenda 47, not Project. Yo. Like, had more than half of Project 2025 been laid out in like 8 months. We're not stupid. We have eyes. It's happened already. He's following the blueprint. What do we do next? He's literally telling you he's going to go to the guy who got it all written down and figure out the next thing, and they're going to sit down and figure out the next step. Unserious might not be the right name for that man. Let's call him something else. I mean, they don't seem to like the correct terminology when you speak highbrow, authoritarian, dictator. There's so many different ones. Totalitarian, monarch, king. The list goes on and on and on. I saw Dion pop in, but he popped out. His mic is down. His video's off, and I'm just rambling until he comes in.
I was just letting you tell them the facts as you see it. And why would I want to interrupt that? It's not my turn.
Oh, I was waiting on you. I was just doing my normal before you get here. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and not say anything? So I just talk until you get here. And I just happen to be good at speaking, so I talk about whatever's on my mind, and I do it in a way that I believe hopefully the audience is engaging to the audience versus not speaking and just dead air because people will tune in and tune out if I do that. So I was waiting on you. Now that I know you're here, that's why I realized you might have been trying to wait on me. So that's why I said something. So let's get into this. gotta pull up today's topics. Government shutdown for 200. All right, welcome to the think tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pitch of common sense to draw unbiased and logical conclusions. What you heard from me on my spew was the one side, Dion is on the other. I'm literally wearing the white, he's wearing the black, good guy, bad guy, good cop, bad cop, whatever. And we're on opposite sides, just like our gear would suggest. Even though in reality we're friends, don't let that fool you. But we do have different ideologies as far as what we believe the government and how it represents. And you're going to get to hear these arguments. You're going to get to chime in. We'd love to hear you guys say what you think is going on so that we can debate it all. We can talk about it. We're trying to figure out solutions and where we're right and wrong. So with no further ado, and I just lost Dion. As I was about to introduce him, that was funky. I don't know what to make of that. Is it that I'm supposed to continue rambling on about Trump? Because I can do that. I can ramble on about Trump. Wait a minute. What is this? Don't understand what happened there. Let me see something. Then let me get back to it. I believe the children are our future. And all right, so that's cool. And Dion's gone. Gone. All right. Well, while I'm waiting on Dion to chime back in, because I don't know what just happened, I'll continue my rant, which is good. You know, I get to talk about what's on my mind and relieve some of the stress that I got because, I've got my little tea. We have a very serious situation. Black people thrown in one van, brown in another, F the kids is the norm, tear gassing crowds, kids in cars choking, having to get taken to the hospital. This is what Trump wanted. He wanted an authoritarian regime. He has the 5th largest military in the world running up in cities in our country. I'm going to say that again. How do they say it? Some things are worth repeating twice. Some things you got to say more than once. You got to drill it in. You got to understand. You got to comprehend. This is some BS. You got the 5th largest army in the world, military in the world. You have the 5th largest militia in the world running up in U.S. cities. And the military can't protect us. It's U.S. military people doing it. That's where we at right now. Oh, it's not a totalitarian regime. You have the 5th largest military in the world running up, terrorizing citizens. Literally, like, this is something out of a horror movie or out of some dystopian, futuristic nonsense. Got them running up on cars, strapping the cars off, smashing the windshield, dragging people out, tear gassing people, masks on. Like, the amount of insanity is it's remarkable. That's really remarkable. Like, that's really happening in the U.S. as we speak. I have Dion back. We're going to try this again. I don't know what happened to you.
You
didn't like my rhetoric.
Oh, in Houston, my first time in Houston, and then the Wi-Fi just cut out. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Houston.
Yes, my first time.
I love Texas. I love Texas. You're gonna have
It's my first.
You're in one of the cities with one of the largest Black contingencies.
You see this deep rib?
Yo, Houston, you're gonna love Houston. Like, as soon as you got there, you realized that they knew you was from New York, and you got an embrace from the opposite sex that you didn't expect.
No, actually, I did expect, but I was so disappointed. But that's no sidebar. Welcome to the think tank. I'm 78th Assembly District Leader Dion Powell from the Bronx, New York, and we're here to talk all things about the MAGA realm. And today, exclusive Project 2025, which You've seen me harp on a few months here since we started this project of the think tank, and hopefully we'll give you the answers you need.
Well, let's start with the government shutdown, which is what people are really thinking about at the present moment. And, I would say for a good reason, because it affects a lot of services, jobs. So, what are some of the things affected by it? Well, the Democrats are saying that the only thing they want is the tax credits that were extended during the pandemic for the Obamacare, which is properly termed the Affordable Care Act. But they just anything that Obama did that was good, they wanted to throw Obama on it. Like remember the Obama phones where people got free phones? If there was like things that he did that was good, they threw his name on it. It was a good thing.
Actually, that's
But it was
George
there.
W.'s phones, but that's another story.
I'm sorry?
That's George W.'s phones, but that's another story. George W. Remember him?
So then why they call it the Obama phone?
Because people in the hood like to rebrand things as something positive coming out of the administration. But I heard that program was actually started at the tail end of George W. when Obama first came in.
You heard that. So we're not going to
Just
get
like
into that
Bloomberg.
because you heard that doesn't make it true.
Okay,
Especially
fine.
coming from the MAGA party.
Oh,
So
the back check, huh?
it is what it is. So they want to extend the Affordable Care Act credits. So what that means is if you go to the doctor and your premium is $200, it's $200 because of the credits in the Affordable Care Act. They want to take away those credits where they'll double. The same, and the Democrats' argument is, so let me get this right. What you want to do is give tax breaks to billionaires that amount to something over thousands of dollars a day in their pockets, but you don't want to give Americans, the average hardworking American, reasonable health care? You're doing this, what? So that's the Democrats' argument. And so they're like, we're not going to sign on to no bills until you do something to help the American people. That's their talking point. They have shutdowns looming, well, that are actually in effect now, that affect a vast variety of different things. National parks have shut down, troops are going without pay, air traffic controllers are going without pay, TSA agents are going without pay, WIC is being affected, SNAP is being affected, 150,000 law enforcement agencies are going without pay, flood insurance is drying up. In the interim, while this is happening, JD Vance is saying that this is Chuck Schumer's shutdown, and he's doing it because he's afraid of being challenged by AOC. Now, as I was saying before we started, the Republicans are better at messaging. They start saying something at the top and everybody starts repeating it. While all this is happening, our president is making AI memes of Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero with a mustache, and Chuck Schumer, he's putting unreal sentences in his mouth with AI, making him seem as if he's saying things that are damaging to his own party, which is why they call him unserious. So I want to hear what the strongest MAGA, who goes for everything, even when his own party leaders will go against it, says about this. Do you believe that Chuck Schumer is shutting the government down because he doesn't want AOC to take his spot?
Well, remember, he did prevent the previous shutdown and said that would hurt the economy, a government shutdown. Because remember, we were in a situation before the previous quarter. So now, seeing as though AOC is being froggy, a government shutdown is a good thing. So yes, I believe that's one piece, but they also got to think about Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader. Think about it, of Congress, of the House of Representatives, rather, and his stake in all this. Remember, New York is the leadership of the Democratic Party in Congress, if you think about it. So you have Chuck Schumer from New York Senate, Hakeem Jeffries, Brooklyn in Congress. So that's all eyes on them. But yes, AOC and the far left, they're getting more ambitious thanks to in New York City, where we're from, Zohran Mamdani's victory landslide prediction for me as mayor of New York.
Well, knowing the facts, I don't even see. This is the thing. I know you know the facts. So how you could even say that with a straight face is mind-boggling to me. Because one fact that I didn't mention yet, something I forgot now, I just read that part, and I'm glad I did so because I got to hear that answer before I continue and say that the Republicans are on extended vacation to avoid talking about this government shutdown, while Democrats are literally sitting there like, we're ready to talk right now. Where are you? So you're saying that Chuck Schumer is leading a shutdown, that he's sitting there waiting to talk to try and open the government back up, but the Republicans are running away on vacation, won't come and talk, but Schumer's leading it? That's the MAGA story, and you're saying you believe that?
No, you're talking about AOC. You said Schumer and AOC.
AOC and Schumer are looking to talk and have discussions to open the government back up. The Republicans went on vacation and won't talk to them. So how do you even accept blaming people that are trying to do something while your party is literally going on vacation? The government is shut down. People ain't getting paid. They're like, oh, it's awful, but we're going on vacation. And you saying you believe this nonsense?
Well, your question was the reasoning why Schumer is doing the shutdowns because he's protecting his position in Senate because they fear that AOC is going to run against them. I said yes because before.
But how do you say that Schumer's doing the shutdown if, first of all, Donald Trump said he wanted the shutdown? Secondly, Donald Trump is excited about the shutdown. He's making fun of Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer during the shutdown. They're like, yo, this is serious. We need to talk and get this going. And Trump is laughing and making fun and telling Republicans to go on vacation. And you're saying that through all of that, you believe that Chuck Schumer is responsible?
Okay. Well, he is the minority. He is the minority leader in the Senate. But if I could share my screen, my friend, it takes 60 votes in the Senate to make this end, if you want to call it that. And if you look at the chart, let's see if I can bring it up. Republicans don't have a total majority of the Senate, right? And this is how we have it. So far, we only have 2 blue senators, Democrats voting with the Republicans. We need 5 more from over here, and a Republican that's over here, an independent that's over here, probably Uncle Bernie. Just 5 more people over here to come over here, and it's all end. Understand? And this is what people should be looking at, the rules and how it works, and who. This is CNN. Is it fake news? Not by the numbers, or just by voting.
No, that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. But here's the thing, right? So has there ever in the history of this country been an end to a shutdown without a compromise?
Well, people are going to have to compromise if one political
party. How do you compromise if people are on vacation and won't come talk to you?
Well, some things, as they say in relationships, are deal breakers. The Republicans are not going to extend health insurance for illegal aliens. They refuse.
Okay. All right. So as the Democrats have pointed out multiple times, if you look at the federal laws, there is no health insurance going to illegal aliens. It's against federal law.
No, try that. Sanctuary cities have to get reimbursed. Remember, the hospitals get reimbursed, and that's the loophole by paying.
Even let's see, you're talking talk points, but even your leaders are not trying to say the things you're saying. I don't know where you come up with this stuff, but even your leaders are not trying to say that. That's not how they're trying to explain it away. They're saying that that's not what they're saying at all. What they're saying is, I think I'm gonna quote J.D. Vance this time. What J.D. Vance said was, well, what's actually happening is that they will spend the money on something else and get reimbursed for that and then put the money there. So they actually get the money into something else. Like, I mean, they didn't even try and say that they're giving the money to aliens. They admit that they're not doing that. Your leader, JD Vance, admits that's not happening.
Yeah, we're not side by side. I can't find the chat. Is the chat active?
I was actually just trying to get in there to see that myself. That's exactly what I was on my other screen doing.
Okay, we have 700 people watching. Shout out to them.
Thanks everybody for coming in.
Yeah, I can't find the chat. Oh well, thank you everybody for supporting us as always. And in terms of this governmental shutdown, again, the numbers are there. There are certain things that the Republicans aren't budging on that the Democrats are going to have to throw in the towel and just say, hey, just five of us, maybe four or five, just vote in favor of this and let's just keep it moving because some things are just deal breakers. Republicans are not budging on certain items of this package. But the thing, Leo, that I wanted to highlight, and that's why I alluded to Project 2025 at the beginning, is that this is actually what President Trump wants because he's been trying to gut and cut and doge a lot of government programs, systems, and employees. But now, because of a shutdown, it gives him an opportunity legally to do it, but make certain fires and terminations permanent. And that's when Project 2025 comes into play, theoretically, Russ, because they're saying this is the way that Trump is going to fire key people and positions, but that are needed, but then replace it with all the loyalists. Hopefully, me.
Good luck on that. Even though I believe, actually, I don't know where you got 700. I see 2,400. And thank y'all guys for coming. We appreciate having you. Feel free to join in, talk to us. I don't understand. I don't comprehend that reality. Listen, here's the thing. If you can't have a negotiation without people talking, and people refuse to come and talk, then you're forcing a shutdown. That's simple. This is not rocket science. This isn't we got to think real hard. If we got to talk to bring this to an end, and instead of talking, you go flying off to Europe to enjoy your vacation instead of coming to talk while the troops aren't getting paid, while WIC is being cut off, while food stamps is being cut off, while everybody's suffering. If that's what you're doing, then you are causing the shutdown. You can't blame somebody. Oh, it's Chuck Schumer because he thinks AOC is. You're not coming to talk. How are you not coming to talk and then blaming somebody else because you're not coming to talk? How does that reality, how does that fit into any conversation? That doesn't make sense. And while you're doing that, you're laughing, you're having a good old time, you're making memes, you have troops running up in cities, guns drawn, masks on, yoga people are smashing windshields, dragging people out of cars, tear gassing innocent people. The fifth largest military in the world is running up in people's apartment buildings, dragging people out, yelling F the kids. All of this going on within the last 3-4 days. Tear gassing American citizens, tear gassing the fifth largest military in the world, the fifth largest military in the world, the ICE Army, is tear gassing American cities and dragging Americans out of their houses, out of their apartment buildings, throwing them in back of vans. Legal people, Americans, talking about F their kids, beating on people. All this during the shutdown. And yet the word of totalitarian is offensive. Authoritarianism is offensive. I couldn't paint a more heavy authoritarian picture. What could you possibly do more authoritarian?
Well, again, if Donald Trump, the president, again, is playing 3D chess, these guys are playing shoots and ladders. One hand, Democrats just need 5 of them so far, according to this. Vote, get it through, and he wins and shows your weakness. On the other hand, you keep this going, and he's going to make Doge look like a trial run of what's going to happen with people that's going to be terminated and agencies that's going to be cut and shut down. So what are you going to do, Blue Team? Which are you going to do? Who are you going to save? What are you going to do? Because either way, The Democratic Party doesn't look good right now in its positioning.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They are in a very bad position. Trump has the upper hand completely in this shutdown. But I will say this. Last time Chuck Schumer backed down and he beat him down for it verbally. Verbally. They said he would show weakness by backing off last time. That's what happened. This time, if he lets it go this far and backs down, now he looks like us. He cannot back down now. He cannot back down to Trump again. He has to keep this going until there is some kind of negotiation met. If he lets all of these people get cut and backs down afterwards, then Trump gets the double win. He cannot back down. Trump put him in a position where he can't back down.
Yes. So you see, the Democrats thought they could just message their way out of this with their little viral videos and their clicks. And
what are you talking about? I'm
lost. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer. He's another one. He is up for re-election in 2028, the same year that AOC might run for president or run for his spot, depending on how they want to grade it from. They're also going to probably try primary Hakeem Jeffries, who I believe still hasn't really endorsed Zohran Mamdani, Democratic candidate for mayor. So you see there's a lot of infighting as well. Good luck. But in the meantime, you guys wait and watch. Throw my goatee back. What do you think?
Looking good, looking good. So here's what I believe. Quite honestly. I believe that Trump is very sick. I believe, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, that the symptoms I'm looking at with Donald Trump appear to be congenitive heart failure. I'm hearing other pundits that have seen the same things because facts. And if this is some sort of heart failure, I guess he's not wolfing down McDonald's cheeseburgers anymore. Whatever pulmonary, well, it's not pulmonary, cardiovascular, because pulmonary is with the heart, or is with the breathing, and cardiovascular is with the heart and the circulatory system. So whatever cardiovascular issue is causing him to retain water in his legs, hence the swollen ankles that they're now calling cankles, it's going to affect his heart. 79-year-old man with heart problems. That's definitive. That's the White House isn't even trying to deny that. They came up with some cardiovascular something or another, and it's like, y'all trying to make light of this? You just said he has problems with his veins pumping blood, and you're trying to make light of it? He's retaining water. That's bad. that's he. Why does he keep disappearing? Because he's in a hospital. Because if he's retaining water like that, this is, again, entertainment and educational purposes only, but if he's retaining water to the point where his legs are swelling up, he has a serious circulatory issue. He's not getting blood. So
you want to invoke the 25th Amendment and get rid of him? Is that what you're trying to do? Yes.
No, that's probably what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. He's insane. He's batshit crazy. I mean, we got a government shutdown. We got troops running up in people's houses, like places of work, churches, schools. Like, you have the 5th largest militia in the world terrorizing U.S. citizens. And he's making memes. There's something wrong with that dude. Something wrong with him.
He's trying to live his best life while running the country. How's that sound? You didn't mention golf. Don't mention how many times it takes golf. Normally, that's an area to try to, attack of a president. How many golf games? What is his golf game?
No, that's what Trump attacked when Obama did it. That is not what I attack. There's nothing wrong with playing golf. There's something wrong with Trump. So who was it? Howard Luttnick? No, we're not going to go to Nutlick yet. There was somebody. I want to get the right person.
Russ?
Mike Johnson. It was Mike Johnson. MAGA Mike. You mentioned him earlier. He's the majority speaker of the Senate or something like that. He's the
Speaker of the House. Yes, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Speaker of the House. Right. The House was wrong with me. So, like, while Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader, he's got the Democrats because they don't have the majority in the House. MAGA Mike is the majority leader because the Republicans run the House. So the majority of people in the House of Representatives are Republican. So he's the majority leader. So the majority leader of the House, MAGA Mike Johnson, was being asked about Trump's being off, about Trump being crazy. And instead of trying to defend the incredible insanity that we're all looking at as a country, his retaliation, I swear to God, was there's something wrong with some of the people on your side too. Like, it's not just him, it's other, you've got people that's crazy also. That was his defense. Not
Makes
that
sense to me.
So in his defense, he's admitting that there's something wrong with Trump. If his defense is there's something wrong with your side too, then that means that there's something wrong with Trump.
So we're back to Trump. We don't want to address the crazies on the Democrat side. So it's always back to Donald Trump. Anything.
Well, the guy running this show, the guy in charge of the free world, yeah, let's talk about him. You want to talk about people that are basically irrelevant because they're not doing anything. The person doing something, the person that has the 5th largest military in the world, tear gassing American citizens, is Donald J. Trump. So let's talk about him. Unless you have an objection.
Well, again, you're talking about his mental decline, whereas I don't think our viewers are going to really absorb that because that's what he accused Joe Biden of. So if they accuse him of the same things, like more of the same, let's talk about something else. Because I don't think it's any comparison of the two. And when you accuse him of things that should have been brought up by the previous administration, it's just insulting people's intelligence at this point.
That is a wonderful defense, except for the fact that he's acting like a 3rd grader, making fun of people, drawing things instead of drawing, he's using AI. He's acting like as someone who was once a school teacher, he is acting like a 3rd grader who doesn't understand that what he's doing or has a real serious issue and needs an IEP and needs a one-on-one person to help control his volatile behavior. He's acting like a 3rd grader with volatile behavior. That's what he's doing.
Trump being Trump.
If a 3rd grader acted like that in my classroom, I would send him to the principal's office. Not literally. There's other steps. That was, 30 years ago. But for all intents and purposes, if a 3rd grader was acting like that, I would call his parents and have them sit down and have to talk to somebody. I would have to talk to his parents because he is not acting like a child should be acting at that grade level. And that's 3rd grade. Trump's the president of the United States. If a 3rd grader was acting like him, I'd call his parents.
It's this Trump being smart.
Acting like Trump being Trump is a 3rd grader with bad behavior. If that's
Democrats got nothing for him so far. All chips are in his hands right now. All cards are in his hands. Everything. What can you do?
That's true.
Try to lean on Mike Johnson if you can, and see if Mike Johnson will help you guys invoke your 25th Amendment to get rid of this guy. I doubt it, but I digress. Back to you.
Well, I mean, this guy, the art of the deal man, right? He's the art of the deal guy. He's bailing out Argentina for $22 billion? You know what Argentina did in the meantime? They stole the contracts from American farmers to sell soybeans to China. While China was buying over 50% of the soybeans, of American soybeans. This is what helped keep soybean, this is what kept soybean farmers afloat. He gives them $22 billion, and so they use that money and give a break to China and sell the beans to them for less because they don't need as much money because they got our tax dollars. So they take our tax dollars and then undercut American farmers. That's your Donald Trump? There's something wrong with that dude. Oh, yeah, look it up. It's a fact. Do I have to bring it up? I can bring it up. I can do that one.
Well, Trump, It's just being
That's Trump being Trump, right? Just giving our tax money away.
Again, you got the thing is the messaging Leo with Trump is no matter how much you blame him, you could be 100% incorrect in what you're saying. It doesn't matter any which way because the blue team has nothing for the people to support. So again, Trump has two things here. What are you guys gonna do?
During this shutdown, he has us in a bad position. It's awful. And I'm not even a Democrat. I'm against him. I'll join the Democrats for this part of the fight. I might have to go against them next year, but right now, they got me. I'm against Trump. The Supreme Court ruled in Louisiana that against the Section 2 of the Voters' Rights Act. It is no longer legal. Sorry. It is no longer illegal to discriminate against Black voters. Gee, didn't see that coming. They haven't been talking about that for 2 months.
Wow.
Yep.
It took a while. Let's see what New York is doing here. Let's see. NOLA.
Yes, it's over. Black people, they can now literally not count your vote because you're Black. That is actually the law now. So
this is a congressional district. This is another redistricting issue.
Sorry? I told you they was using the redistricting issue to attack the Civil Rights Act of the Voters' Rights Act. The second, and in particular, the part that protected Black people, the second section of the Voters' Rights Act. And they ruled against it, which sets the precedent that now people can do that in any state. That's what they were doing. They were establishing, all right, I'm not a lawyer, but here's how it works, right? If a judge at the federal level makes a ruling, it's called setting a precedent. Now, other judges can look at that and be like, "Oh, well, they did it. So if they do, I guess we can do it because it was done now." And that precedent becomes ironed into law if it's lost upon appeal. But right now, they've ruled against being able to say, "Nah, they did that because I'm Black." It don't matter if they did it because you Black.
This is just representation. What they're trying to do is try to prove that lines drawn for congressional representation are racially motivated and wrong, and it's diluting the voter base for the right team, which is the Republican Party. And it's putting Blacks into one lump when it should be more, let's say, inclusive. Get it?
That has nothing to do with the letter of the law. What you just said was some mumbo jumbo that had nothing to do with the Voters' Rights Act that they went against. They literally went against the second section of the Voters' Rights Act. What you just said has nothing to do with that. Nothing. They literally went against the second section of the Voters' Rights Act. Would you like me to bring it up?
Please don't, because just like in Texas, where I'm at now, it's all about representation and not.
In Texas, it was about redistricting and cutting out the Black vote. I mean, not they.
But what I'm looking at, it says two congressional seats in Louisiana.
Well, I kind of said this to you earlier, so you can have a chance to go over it now, rather than while everybody's watching. Right. We're literally losing hundreds of people while you're doing that.
No, it says it right here. I'm looking at the same thing right now. It says it right here, which is it's about 2 congressional seats. Right. August 27 argues the Voting Rights Act no longer justifies 2 Black congressional districts. Period. That's it.
So they ruled against the Voters' Rights Act. They ruled against it. That is the precedent now. So they're saying that it don't matter about the Voters' Rights Act. So now the Voters' Rights Act is not a defense because you're a Black voter. That's what that means.
Okay.
They ruled against it. Something I told you was going to happen. I told you they were going to do that. I've been telling you they was going to do that for 2-3 months. It's not more new. It's you're trying to look at it and be like, oh, well, what it means is, and you're trying to break it down into different ways. On the face, what they just did was they said, we're not going to care if people discriminate against you because you're black when you're trying to vote, period. Now you're talking about a president that is very unpopular in the vote right now. The President Trump is not popular. He's underwater. He's at like 30%. If he went against Kamala Harris right now, he would lose. He's got elections coming up next year, and the Republicans are in the toilet. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to cheat. That's why he was like, give me 5 seats. He's trying to find a way to cheat to win. He doesn't want to ever give up power. He's walking around floating 2028 hats like he can run again. But if he pulls off the nonsense he's pulling now, then he can get 2/3 of the states to say that he can run again. And this will be like Russia. And what he's doing right now, by cutting out votes that he doesn't want, means he's only going to count the votes he wants. He can get 2/3 of the states that way. And he can go for 2028. It's a plan. It's an obvious plan to everybody who's not so stuck in MAGA that they're not stepping back looking at the full picture. If you're looking at the trees, you're not going to see the forest. But here's the forest. The man's telling you straight up he intends to run for 2028. How is he going to do that? He has the amended Constitution. How does he do that? He needs to win 2/3 of the states, right? Or is it 3/5? I forget.
Well,
to amend the Constitution.
Right, but the thing is, if they can't get 60 votes in the Senate to actually unstop this government shutdown, amending the Constitution is quite much difficult than that. Understand?
What you're talking about is short term, and I'm talking about big picture. You're looking at the tree still. There's the forest. I said the forest. I understand it's a tree. It's a beautiful birch tree. It's tall. It's got a lot of leaves. It didn't turn autumn yet. I get it.
It's not easy. That's why I'm saying if they can't.
Neither is creating the 5th largest military in the world and sending them into United States citizens' homes and places of work and places of worship in school. But he pulled it off, didn't he?
That's not happening. They're not going into schools and places of worship. That is a lie.
That's not a lie.
They're going after criminals. I know that much.
They're literally running up in politicians' offices.
Yeah, but to have all this hysteria about going to schools and churches and those kind of things, that's just a lie. And that's the point. The public doesn't believe anybody anymore because those are lies. And I get people hate Donald Trump.
Oh man, I hear where you're coming from. I'm making this stuff up. It's obvious that I don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe I should.
In Iowa, superintendent.
Oh wait, what is this? Milwaukee Lutheran Church sues over Trump's directive on ICE raids at houses of worship. Trump literally sent them into churches. Literally sent them into churches. Himself. He wrote a directive for it. You know what else is a directive? An executive order. So basically, he placed an executive order to tell ICE to raid churches. Oh, okay. That's churches. But maybe it stops there and it's not as bad as I'm saying. Maybe it's just places of worship. Oh, they says ICE system ricochet does not raid schools. Oh, ICE arrest reveals hidden past of an Iowa school superintendent. Oh, no, exactly. Iowa schools leader held by ICE.
Maybe.
Chicago schools issue safety alert after new ICE activity. Won't be at DC schools. Oh, there's patrols protecting the schools. They're fighting over the schools. ICE can now enter K-12 schools. Here's what educators should know. I don't know, man. I don't know. ICE can now enter DC school, into 1 to 12 schools. New laws rightly keep California schools off limits. California's off limits. Another lawsuit challenges ICE policy. There's a policy in place. It's being challenged, but there's a policy in place allowing raids at schools. It looks like schools might be a target. I don't know, man. It looks like schools are a target. And that's a Trump directive. ICE agents drag naked children out of homes in Chicago. They're running up at people's houses, dragging naked kids out. Like, I want you, running up in houses, dragging out naked children. I want you to tell me something that you can find more heinous, something worse than that.
Partial birth abortion on demand. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Well,
Show
they
me, show me
that's all we
evidence
have
of
for
that,
tonight.
because I've never seen it.
I don't
They
want to
said
see it. Let's see.
they said, oh, this can technically happen. They've never seen it. ICE is doing this right now. They're running up at people. They're dragging naked kids out of their homes. Trump wrote directives to drag children out of schools. They're running up in churches. This is happening. This isn't conjecture. And this is while the government is shut down.
Well, this is why there are riots in the streets in Oregon and Chicago and things of that nature. But still, most of these things happening right now aren't as egregious as you would think, other than
What?
isolated incidents that you see Leo finds on the internet. Other than that, it's not happening.
It's not happening except for the times when it's happening. It's not happening except for when it's happening.
Okay. Right.
So it's happening.
Not on a level that you're exaggerating. What's happening?
I'm not exaggerating. Trump literally wrote directives for it. So if he wrote the directive, you're saying that the agents aren't doing it. You're saying they're not following the presidential directive. Is that? And so are you defending the ICE agents and saying they're not following the Trump directive, or are you defending Trump and saying it's okay that he did it? It can't be both. What you're saying is they're not following his directives and they're doing good, except for sometimes. That's what you're saying?
No. I'm saying that, the directive was to go for people that have broken the law, illegals that have broken the law. Now, some people are falling through the cracks, I admit.
How many, you're not running up in churches, people's homes, people's places of work looking for illegals without a warrant. Because if you don't have a warrant, then you don't know who you're looking for. You're just dragging anybody out. That's a lie.
Well, you need a warrant. So
they're not using warrants. They're just literally stopping people because they look Spanish. And the Supreme Court okayed it, remember? So you can't deny it. They're literally just doing this. They're terrorizing communities. And Black people are getting caught up in it too.
Oh, gosh.
Listen. They just ran up this weekend. They ran up in an apartment building. They took the Black people and put them in one van, the Spanish people and put them in another. Swear to you. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Like I told you it would. Like I told you it would. You want to deny DEI. You know what Trump said about DEI? He said, well, we want to get rid of DEI and make sure that the people working are not there because of the color of their skin. So you know what that means? When he attacked DEI, he was attacking race. Not, oh, well, women are the most. No, he himself said that he's attacking race. That's what he said. Those are his words. J.D. Vance backed him up on it. MAGA Mike backed him up on it. You cannot defend that. He's attacking Blacks. He said so out of his own mouth, and everybody backed him up on it. So if you're saying no, then you're saying no to what all of the political leaders in your party are saying, but the facts are they're doing it because of Blacks. According to them anyway.
I totally disagree.
Well, you disagree with them, that's fine, but you're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with Trump, you're disagreeing with J.D. Vance, and you're disagreeing with MAGA Mike. So you can disagree with them, that's fine. I have no problem with that. It's cool. Disagree with them. It's cool. So why is it that the number of mass unalivings increases when Trump is in office?
What do you mean? I don't understand what that one meant. Mass unalivings.
People shooting up places like churches and schools.
Oh, you're talking about mass shootings. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that has increased right now in the reporting of it. And I believe throughout the years of it being just for one particular demographic has expanded the definition of mass shootings. So that's what I think.
Oh, so it's kind of like autism, where they change the definition, so it seemed like it's more.
Well, I can't speak to that one right now because we're talking about mass shootings, but you just try to
Well, I mean, I
segue
mean,
something
that's
else.
what it's the same thing. You're saying they changed the definition of the word, like they did with autism. So now there
Just
seems
like
to
gun
be more, even
violence.
though the numbers haven't increased.
Well, again, nationally, mass shootings were for one particular scenario where it's like an AK-47 in a school, but now they've expanded that term to other things, like in the hood, when you have a handgun and you shoot lots of people up in a party. That's not defined under the category of mass shootings. Understand? And it's not the guns that they need to be banned, like the AK-27s, because the most mass shootings happening with handguns. A lot of people don't know that.
I don't know that to be true. You'd have to prove that to me.
Well, well, anyway, yes, most mass shootings are with handguns, not with
Your
AK.
president has literally said, let's use American cities as practice for our troops. You know that, right?
That's just Trump being Trump. I do know that. That's why I said that's just Trump being Trump.
Whoa, but if that's just Trump being Trump, when he called all of the leaders from the military from all over the world, the generals, the admirals, even the top sergeants, when he called them all down, when he called them all together, which is a security breach, you should never do that. I've digressed. He did that. When he called them all together to tell them this, that was just Trump being Trump. Because that's what he did. He called them all
Pete
together.
Hegseth, Pete Hegseth, the Department of War rebranded Department of Defense
Not
Secretary.
legally, not legally. But I digress. So him calling together all of the military leaders and telling them to use, because now he's the commander in chief. So this is an order when it comes out of his mouth. Because that's how it works. He's the commander in chief. So him calling together the people underneath him and giving the directive to use American cities as training grounds is just Trump being Trump.
Letting his Secretary of War slash Defense do what he has to do to or to toughen up the military leadership. That's the way that
That
they.
has nothing to do with what I just said.
Well, again, you just okay. I'm trying to equate what happened at the big meeting and why they're doing it, and why he's saying that uses big cities as training grounds because they're going after and they're collaborating with ICE and protecting ICE and all the riots they're in Oregon and in Chicago and some other
Right.
cities.
So he's saying to the American troops to use it. So how are they? So what do you think happens?
General, you just said leadership. I'm talking about the leadership meeting. You just said the leadership meeting where they all were together, which is dangerous. I agree. Pete Hegg said the Secretary of War, formerly known as Defense, trying to actually expand to eradicate all those inclusivity feel-good programs that weaken our military. So the president, again, having the military in certain key cities that he's identified as being dangerous to be a training ground. That's just Trump being Trump, trolling as always.
When you give this directive to all of the leaders of the military in the country from all over the world, that is an order. Just for the record, I just listen. When the president comes in, if you're enlisted, you salute because he's your superior officer. The guy over your general, the guy over your admiral, which is the highest rank that you can get in the Army and Navy. When you salute them, and the person above them is the president. When the president gives an order, that is your orders. You follow your orders as long as they're lawful, which President Trump doesn't seem to understand. But you're supposed to follow the orders that come from the president. They're orders when he says it. So his orders are to treat American cities like they're foreign. He said the enemies,
That
either domestic, the enemies domestic and foreign. He said that you are to treat these domestic enemies of the United States that live here as if they're enemies and use them as training grounds. He is literally
I gotta see the quote
declaring
at
war.
this point.
Now I'm quoting him. I'm quoting him. I'm quoting him. These are verbatim statements. I'm quoting him. Would you like me to pull it up? He said all of this shit.
Yes, please pull up this quote. I gotta see this one.
Which one didn't you hear?
I want to see the full quotation. I want to see a paragraph. Donald Trump saying this.
Let me see.
Let's see if Donald Trump said this. Oh, is it paraphrased? Shoot.
Slightly paraphrased, but he said all of it.
Uh-oh, slightly paraphrased here.
No, he said it all.
This may use the president public trust. I want to see transcript.
Trump is repeatedly floating, applying his DC blueprint to Windy City. He also claimed Portland like a war zone. What he's saying, Trump told military leaders, we have to handle the so-called enemy from within. That was his quote. We have to handle the enemy from within. What else did he say? He referenced executive order directing the defense secretary to establish a National Guard quick reaction force for nationwide deployment to help quell civil disturbances, to take away your First Amendment rights. Trump defended his domestic use of troops, arguing he's not the first person to use the military to keep peace, which reality check, the posse comitatus actually bars it. The president encourages soldiers to hit people if they are spit on. That's crazy. Trump said he told defense secretary the military should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds. I'm sorry, he told it to Pete Hegseth. He told the guy in charge of the military that he should use these cities as training grounds. That's his words. That's a quote. All right, what is the other thing I said? Use the cities as training grounds and
We take that one half of a liner.
I'm sorry?
I think one day we just have to sit for at least 2 minutes straight and just listen to what the man says at this point.
I did. He talked so much. I don't remember all of it, but I
probably joking and stuff like that. Anecdotes.
That's not joking.
When you're saying you just have that 5 words or something like that, 8 words, and that's it. We don't have the whole contextualized freaking statement or speech therein, not office meeting or clear agenda item. You see what I'm saying? And people see through this.
Oh my God, you're kidding me. All right, I just saw something else here. This is going to be a major part for some reason of the people in this room, he said. That's a war too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our borders is essential to national security.
Makes sense.
So it's a war from within. Much of the Trump's administration targeting the blue cities has come in the form of surging immigration enforcement. Basically, he's sending in ICE to attack the cities, which is what they're doing.
Oh, they're not doing that, but okay.
They're not doing that. They're not tear gassing crowds. They're not running up in people's houses and dragging them out. Naked kids. They're not dragging people out of work in churches. They're not running up in schools. They're not going up. What? They are literally like terrorizing people, smashing people's cars, windshields in, and dragging them out. It's actually that's what they do. That is when they see somebody Spanish and they get them, they tell them to come out the car, and if they don't come right out the car, they smash the windshields in and tear them out. That's how they do. That's what they do.
That's not routine. How about that? Maybe I should stop saying that. That's not routine.
You don't know that it's not routine. That's what they're doing.
It's not routine.
Los Angeles Times. Trump wants to use cities as military training grounds. Military.com. This is neutral. This is military.com. Trump's plan to use U.S. cities as military training ground sparks legal, civil, military concern. This is as neutral as it gets. This is from the military themselves. He's planned to use U.S. cities.
No, it's not. But okay. Because you should know what .mil is, Leo. Thank you for your service, by the way, salesman.
So you come here for veteran jobs, military life discounts, join the military, military podcasts, all of the branches. I take this as pretty serious. Military news.
Okay.
It's military news.
.com stands for commercial, by the way. With .mil stands for military. Like .gov stands for government. I don't know. .org stands for organization, by the way.
With all of that said, this is somebody who was once a part of the military, who was a military veteran, is something that the military personnel would take seriously. So as a civilian, I understand that you want to cast doubt. As somebody who's actually a veteran, allow me to say that this site looks pretty legitimate to me. I would take this seriously. And the news from a site that a veteran would take seriously is Trump's plan to use U.S. cities as military training grounds sparks legal civil military concern. His plan is to use cities as training grounds, and that's what he's doing. That's what he's been doing, and now it's turned up. It's turned up. Whenever you look at the news, you can see people in Portland. They're being attacked. They're being attacked. That's why there's civil unrest. They're being attacked. Mike Johnson saying that you can't even deny that the president is crazy. He's like, yo, the Democrats got crazy people too. That means that he knows. Somebody like that knows. He knows the president. He knows he's insane, and he's like, I'm not even trying to cover it up anymore. It's bad when Mike Johnson can't deny it anymore. You can say, oh, well, Bill Clinton, blah, 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 whatever his name was, same guy to me, I don't know. But you can say that they was a little bit off, but Trump is off his rocker. Trump is off his rocker.
Well, so far, there's no alternative right now other than holding out until there's 5 more votes to end this government shutdown. In the meantime, Doge has to sit back and watch what this guy, Ross, does, because it might be permanent. Doge was just a stress trial to try to...
You're talking about the same guy, Donald Trump, who marched troops in for the insurrection.
I don't know about that.
He caused the insurrection.
Donald Trump?
Yes. I know. You're going to be like, oh, well, no, the FBI set him up. You know who said that's a lie? Kash Patel said that's not true.
Well, let's see what Kash Patel has to say.
What Kash Patel said was that the FBI did show up afterwards, and they was trying to do damage control. He said that the FBI was not involved with the insurrection. Ha 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 ha. Trump caused the insurrection.
He did contradict what he said. Okay. Let's see. He did walk back the president's statements.
So now we have a felon who literally caused an insurrection. And you can't blame the FBI no more. The leader of the FBI, a Trump-appointed designee, has said that's not true. So Trump, the felon, tried to overthrow the White House one time. What do you think is going to happen for the next election with the 2028 hats there? He's already got an established pattern, and that's been proven by even his own people being like, nah, we didn't do that. What do you think is going to happen for the next election?
Well, the thing is, so far, it's looking like the Republicans are going to win.
How?
There's no formidable opposition. There's no formidable. Who are the 2028 Democratic frontrunners?
For what position?
For president. We talk about
president. Gavin Newsom, hands down.
Gavin Newsom.
The governor of California, hands down, without question.
He's going to be the Democratic nominee. So
absolutely.
Newsom versus J.D. Vance.
Nobody likes Vance. Just Dance Vance. Nobody likes it. J.D. Vance doesn't even understand that, you can't make fun of somebody's ethnicity and it's racism. So while Trump is the bad kid in class, he's the one that in the 80s they would have put the dunce hat on. But today we have enough knowledge and understanding when we're dealing with special education children that we give them IEPs and we try to teach them. So he's the IEP kid. He's the guy that used to dress up in drag.
Offensive.
I'm sorry?
That's offensive. If Trump was
this is the guy who used to dress up in drag that's now against gay people. He's the guy who used to dress up in drag now against gay people. The man hates himself.
I don't know about that, but okay.
He's a closeted homosexual talking bad about homosexuals. He hates himself.
Vance.
Yes. Or maybe it worked. Maybe they prayed him straight. I don't know.
Entertainment purposes.
Well, I can't prove it, but I can say that I don't think they prayed him straight as he claims. I don't think that they prayed enough and now he's no longer gay. Nah. Nah, you lying. You lying.
Therapy?
Yeah, he's lying. He's lying. But that, I mean, his sexual preference is irrelevant. But the relevant part is the fact that he talks bad about homosexuality and he's gay. That's a self-hating person. And the fact that he has to keep that in the closet while he's out in public all the time is going to cause him to have serious internal turmoil. He's going to have issues. That's why he can't recognize something as blatant as outright racism, because he has his own issues he hasn't dealt with. And I understand that when I'm looking at a kid that has issues. And you want to talk to them. I'm not a therapist, but sometimes you want to talk to your educator, the person. I don't know if he has somebody he can talk to. His wife is not white, so he has to go home to her after saying that that's not racism and look at her.
Good God. Keep going, Leo. Keep talking. Keep talking.
No, I'm saying, like, he's so he has to go home and look her in the face. I don't know how he does that. I know I don't know how, and she has to be like, baby, it's okay. I know you're doing this for the money.
Oh God. This is pure entertainment at this point, but okay.
Okay, so why do you think he's doing it? You think he's prayed straight? Do you believe that?
I don't know. I never heard these rumors about JD Vance. All I know is he's a veteran, just like you.
You never heard rumors? Rumors?
I heard these
Oh,
things.
so you're unaware. That's cool. I can live with that.
His personal attacks is too much. He's doing too much right now. Just sitting back. He did the whole Charlie Kirk thing, filmed his spot on a podcast, and he's doing vice presidential things, traveling Europe, trying to get European nations in line. So,
just for the record, JD Vance faced scrutiny in 24 after photos emerged showing him dressed in a drag 2011 while attending Yale Law School. A situation highlighted by his critics due to his opposing stance on LGBTQ plus rights. The photos, originally posted on Facebook by a former classmate, show Vance with a blonde wig and skirt while playing beer pong. The images was posted, so yes, he
wow, that's digging, but okay.
that's digging.
But in the grand scheme of things, he's not the president of the United States yet. So hold on to this information in 3 years or so when he's running for president, and then try to expose it. Let's see what happens. In the meantime, the government is still shut down. We need 5 more votes to make 60 to actually end this all. If not, then that means other people will get fired permanently, and other agencies are going to be gutted.
Is that the?
This is what we're sticking to.
No, this is the facts. And that's that.
Yikes.
Yeah,
that's think tank, not gossip tank.
It's not gossip. All I did was show a picture. All I did was show a picture from, I just showed a picture. And this is the guy that goes around talking bad about gay people.
I don't know. I haven't seen him say anything about gay people. When has he said anything about gay people?
A lot.
What did he say?
Do I have to? Yes, you're making me do it. At this point, you're making me do this. Now, this is you.
I haven't seen any clips whatsoever or quotes of JD Vance saying anything homophobic whatsoever. Because LGBT issues right now in the campaign trail aren't really that major, other than boys and girls sports. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Did he say something about boys not being girls sports? Is that it?
JD Vance has a record of opposing LGBTQ plus rights, particularly concerning transgender issues and same-sex marriage. Advocacy groups like the Human Rights Campaign and GLAAD have pointed to his public statements and legislative actions as evidence of his anti-LGBTQ plus stance.
What did he say? That's all conjecture to me. So far, the general public, we don't believe that. Please have a video, something. So far,
it's not about what he said.
What? No, it's not about what he said. Okay, fine.
Oh no. What he said is one.
What else we have to talk about tonight? Let's see.
Hold up. No, I mean, no. Hold on, wait. I said it's not about what he said. Oh, he wrote the foreword to a forthcoming book by the head of Project 2025. I don't want to get into Project 2025 yet. Where he stands on, let's see. Where J.D. Vance stands on abortion and the community rights. The first term senator from Ohio was also taking particular aim at prominent Democrats who do not have children, arguing that political leaders should have a stake in the country's future. Former President Donald Trump was selected as his running mate. His first, J.D. Vance of Ohio, was opposed to abortion rights and some LGBTQ plus rights in his time in political office. What did he do is what I want to point out. He has stood against abortion rights and some community rights measures, supporting policies he argues would increase birth rates in the United States, such as making childbirth free and financially incentive couples to have children. That's not a bad thing. Vance, who ran staunchy anti-abortion in the Senate campaign in 21, compared abortion to slavery. Wow. Has someone shifted his public stance on the issue? I'm sure he did. That's crazy. Trump has reportedly viewed a hardline stance on abortion as a negative for a running mate. On the campaign trail, Vance defended the lack of exceptions for rape and incest in Texas. No, that's not it. This is all about abortion.
Yes, what's the LGBT stuff?
Yeah, not there. I'm Where's Vance? Well, here we go. This is good enough. This will make the point. Vance will vote against codifying right to marriage for same-sex couples. So that's it. Oh, I didn't share. I apologize. So he's against.
Maximize.
That is maximized.
I see government shutdown as U.S. unless you have two different windows open.
Oh, I have the wrong screen. Oh. Yikes. Oopsie doopsie. I have two different computers, two monitors running. Thank you for that. Vance will vote against codifying right to marriage for same-sex couples. He's against same-sex rights. Now, having a stance on that is fine. Do I agree or disagree with it? Irrelevant. But when we know that you have a little bit of sugar in your tank,
oh God,
and you against people that are gay, I can't trust nothing that comes out your mouth. You don't even like yourself, or you putting up a front, which a lot of people do. A lot of people put up a front. I'm not even against that. Sometimes you gotta pretend, you gotta play.
He has
but
a
that
beard
man,
now.
that man has problems.
Okay, well,
that man can't even recognize racism when it slaps him in the face.
He's not the president, so until
but
they hold him,
this is him replacing Trump. And be honest, who likes JD Vance? Trump, at least he has times where he can be very, when he's lucid, he knows how to speak to people. He's a salesman, snake oil salesman, they can say, but he's a salesman. And when he's lucid, he can pitch the way that the Democrats can't. That's why he has so much support, because he talks to people. I mean, so here's what I think the problem with the Democrats is. Here's my honest opinion about the Democrats, right? The Democrats may have better legislative concepts, even though they don't talk about those concepts. They don't talk about what they're going to do. All they do is bash Trump. And they don't do it well. Saying that Trump's unserious, there's never been a man more serious. He's a Gemini. So, and myself, he's throwing nuggets of stupidity out to distract you while he's carrying on his very serious, very important, very destructive, very dangerous legislations. And you're talking about how unserious he is while he's doing it. He's winning. He's winning twice. He's throwing out this legislation and he's distracting you and it's working. You're talking about freaking AI generated videos And he's got the government shut down and the fifth largest military in the world running up in cities terrorizing citizens. And you're talking about mustaches and sombreros. What the fuck? What? You're talking about sombreros. It's brilliant. That is brilliant. But the fact that he's willing to hurt so many people, and I don't really think he's a bad person. I do think this is educational entertainment purposes only. I do honestly believe that the man has some serious issues, but he's brilliant. You're talking about sombreros while American citizens is getting tear gas and the government shut down. And I'll give Hakeem Jeffries that. He didn't really veer off into the sombreros too much. He kind of kept it on the shutdown, like, yo, we here ready to talk. We're the Republicans. I give Hakeem Jeffries that. He stuck to his guns on it. The media got distracted by it, but he did not. Chuck Schumer, all that AI stuff that Trump put in his mouth, I haven't heard Schumer mention it one time. He's been asked about it, but he doesn't talk about that. He's sticking to his guns and he's worried about the shutdown, which is affecting American citizens' lives. I respect that. The media, they're distracted by the sombreros. They're stupid. Or that's stupid and they're falling for stupidity. But Trump is definitely, I mean, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's a great distraction. But at the end of the day, I don't care about a sombrero. I care about the fact that healthcare is being affected. I don't want to lose my Affordable Care Act. How about that? If you can afford to give all them billionaires all them tax breaks, you can afford to make sure that my premiums don't go up. I think that's fair. How do you feel about that, Dion?
I feel as though to end the extensions that were created during the COVID lockdown makes sense. We don't need them. And your Affordable Care Act will still remain the same. Understand? But for illegals to get them, no.
So you think ending the program that helps the extensions, right? That help millions of Americans, the extensions from the COVID, that help millions of Americans is something that should end, but we should put the tax break for the billionaires that gives them thousands of dollars a day a piece should be extended indefinitely? How about some of that money come back to us and make our life more livable since we make the billionaires that they are? Save Elon Musk, who gets his money from corporate welfare.
These are separate issues. We're going from health insurance.
No, we're not. We're talking about tax credits. They're both tax credits. They're not separate issues. One's a tax credit for billionaires. The other one's for the average man. The one for the billionaires they wanted to extend. The one for the average person they wanted to cut. It's real cut and dry. It's not separate. It's the same. It's a tax credit. I know finances isn't your thing.
No, but
that's why I explained it.
Well, again, President Trump is doing his thing. And again, we have to watch. I showed you the numbers, family. We need 5 Democrats to cross over, get the 60 votes needed in the Senate to end this whole thing. Otherwise,
so we only need 5 people to say, you know what, we don't want to see people lose their jobs, so we're going to just let the premiums go up on millions of Americans. Got it. That is a terrible place to be. In the meantime, Trump's wonderful tariff war, his beautiful ideas that were going to bring prices down on day one, have cost 32,000 jobs in the private sector within the last month. 32,000 jobs lost. During the Biden era, all you heard was 50,000 jobs gained, 80,000 jobs gained, 40,000 jobs gained, 60,000 jobs gained.
He was
all gains.
They were creating the jobs that Donald Trump is eliminating.
We're talking about the private sector. No.
I don't know.
Private sector jobs.
The government does not create private sector jobs. They create government jobs. That's what Joe Biden did.
And I'm talking about the private sector. I'm not talking about government jobs. I'm talking about the private sector.
Joe Biden. I'm telling you, Joe Biden.
And I said during the Joe Biden era, his policies had jobs being created in the private sector. You'd hear 50,000 jobs, 33,000 jobs, 60,000 jobs, 40,000 jobs, month after month. It was never a time.
The Department of Labor statistics that we all found out was compromised, and those numbers were fraudulent. So those are question
So,
mark numbers. Asterisk. Put an asterisk next to
oh,
them.
but those are not the only place to get numbers. The numbers you can't get the stats numbers from them now because of the shutdown, but you can still get the numbers because there are other very relevant job statistic numbers. What is it? I forget the name of the agency that monitors this, because you're talking about the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is fine, right? That's Bureau of Labor Statistics. ADP employment rep, that's them. These are somebody else. Oh, I didn't share. If you don't know, it's Mario Brothers. ADP employment report. These here are the people that you can get the records from, even though, and it's Fred Economic data, but these are the number one right here. So even though Trump is trying not to report what's happening, 32,000 jobs were lost in September under Trump. That's never happened under Biden. And this is something that can't be hidden. This is something that can't be hidden. Look at this. From 2010, it's all up, 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 up. There was a dip during the pandemic. Oh, of course. Because guess what? Because Trump was in office. And then ever since, it's going up, 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 up. It's never go down except for during the only time it ever went down was under Trump. From 2000, from the last crash when Obama took over.
Look a little closer, my friend. Look a little closer.
A little closer to what? This is Trump. And then it goes up again, and it goes down again. It's Trump. It's never see this big dip. That's Trump. You don't see no big dips like that.
That was the pandemic.
It was Trump. Who was in charge during the pandemic? Who was in charge when it happened? Oh, it's not his fault. It's the pandemic. So then what's the excuse this time? I can only figure if it happens whenever Trump is in office, it's Trump.
But we're still above average. Look at the line. We're still at the top. We're not in the theater.
But we just lost 32,000 jobs. Nothing like that's happened since Trump has been in office, and before him since the Great Recession. Like these are like when Trump is in office, we have recessions of enormous magnitudes. People lose jobs when Trump is in office. This last time was the pandemic. This time is the tariffs. When Trump is in office, people lose jobs. Listen, you can shake your head, but here's the facts. In black and well, it's not black and white. Here's a graph that shows
2016 during 2016, the line is going up. Understand?
And then it crashes.
And then that's Joe Biden after that. And then
and Joe Biden comes in, it goes flat. Joe Biden comes in and starts going up again, higher than it's ever been under Joe Biden, higher than it's ever been. And now we're losing jobs again under Biden, under Trump. Because before, there was no such thing as under Biden, there was no job loss. We got higher than we'd ever been. And that's the private sector. So his policies were obviously good. How do you argue that?
Again, hiring in the public sector, that's what we all been harping on this side about Joe Biden with the auto pen. We don't even know if it was Joe Biden. How about that?
Okay, whether it was Joe Biden or not, the Biden administration brought jobs to the highest level they have ever been. Under Trump, they dip. And that's and then whether it's the pandemic or tariffs, under Trump administration, numbers go down. Under Biden administration, they go up. Period.
Oh God.
And I don't even like Biden. You gotta remember that.
They went up under Trump's first administration, according to your graph.
But they also dipped for the first time and heavier than we've seen in decades under Trump the first time. You're saying, oh, it's because of the pandemic. Regardless of why, while he's in office, numbers dip. Period. That's what the evidence shows. And that's why he doesn't want the Labor Bureau's statistics reporting on it, because he doesn't want you to know. You, the listener, you, the people, Me. He doesn't want me to know. He doesn't want me to know because I'm going to say it to you. I'm going to say it to you too, Dion. The numbers under Trump, as far as private sector jobs, take a lashing when Trump is in office. His policies don't work. And you know what policies that really caused it? He called it the pandemic, but what really caused it? And maybe the pandemic was to hide what was going on. It's a possibility some conspiracy theorists have. I don't think so. I know too many people that died. But the labor statistics happened because the rich got tax breaks and trickle-down economics don't work. Don't believe me? You want to take a look at what happened during the last time we used trickle-down economics? That was under Reagan in the 80s. Want to take a look at it back then? I'm sure I can find it. He's using stuff that doesn't work but makes the rich richer. Let's take a look. Oh, I can't go back past 210 on this chart. That sucks. Oh, I can't go back. I can't go back that far on that website. I'm not going to waste too much time on it. The point is, while Trump is in office, numbers go down. And it's undeniable. It's what it is. Trump doesn't even try to deny it. Matter of fact, Trump said that he raised, maybe my arguments were too strong. Maybe that was too much. Was that too much, guys? Did I do too much? Did I chase them off? Were the impending arguments too strong? Oh, he lost his Wi-Fi. Well, I'm going to end with this. I wanted to ask him so badly. Perhaps I'll end with this and I'll deal with that on a separate show. Donald Trump wants to relive when America was great to him. America was great. Things are best in your life during your 20s and 30s, late teens to mid 20s, right? Yo, your favorite music came from that era. I don't care how old you are. If you're in your 30s, the best music was in the 2000s. If you're in your 40s, the best music was in the 90s. If you're in your 50s and 60s, the best music was in the 80s. Rakim, and if you was into rap. If you're older than that, then your best music was in the 70s with Patti LaBelle, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and everything is like that. Yo, people were nicer to each other at that point. Your communities were better at that point. Families were stronger. When you was in your tens, your late teens to your early 20s, that's when you have the best friends you have in life came from that era, unless you have them from grade school. You know, everything is better in that time. Donald Trump, the best time in his life was when he was in his 20s and 30s. And if it was the best time in your life, imagine what it would have been like if you had a silver spoon in your mouth, if you had all this money that your family had. Man, in your 20s, you were rich. The world is your oyster. Like, you just had it all. Imagine that. If you can, for a moment. Like, the best time in your life when you was rich on top of it. Could you imagine what life was like? That's what the best times in Donald Trump's life was. Now, Donald Trump is a sick man. I'm not going to say he's dying. I'm going to say he's sick and he's old. So he's looking back at his life and he's like, yo, these are the great times. He wants to relive that. He wants the great times back again. And what were them great times? What happened during them great times if you're Donald Trump? If you're Donald Trump, during them great times, you had pollution, like it was factories. He didn't care about pollution. Nobody worried about pollution. He wants to bring them times back. Black people, I mean, you didn't have to see them. You had to worry about them. Let's put them back where they was at. That's when times was great in this country. Why they want to try and change things? Let's bring things back to when things were great. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to relive the greatest part of his life, which for him, again, like it would be for you, like it is for anybody. It's normal. during your late teens and your early 20s, it's the best time in your life. And he's empowered to be able to bring that back. So that's what he's trying to do. He was trying to get rich. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to relive that youthful time. And if you're caught up in the mix, it's not personal against you. It's, this is what was great. I want to bring this back. Pollution, people worried about science and, man, that's all that woke stuff. Man, things was great back then. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Trump is trying to relive an era of his life, and that's what he's doing. Now, the imagined era of his life that he felt was so great is in his head. It wasn't that goddamn great. But that's what he wants to relive. He wants to make America great again. That's when America was great for him. And he's bringing everybody, we're living in Trump's world. He wants to bring everything back to where it was. America had the most powerful military. We were losing wars, but to him, America was great. He didn't get drafted. Everybody else did. So he wants a strong military because that defended his country. That's what he wants because America was great for him. He wants, gay people they were in the closet. You couldn't be out in the street being gay. What is this gay marriage? He wants to get rid of that because when times was great for him, that didn't exist. He was trying to relive the best times of his life and remember what it was like. He's an old, sick man. He just wants to relive life. That's really what he wants. And so he's got to make the country back. He's trying to remake the country back into what he feels that was a great, because in that time in your life, in your late teens and early 20s, life is great. That's what Trump is doing. Now, life would not have been great for you the way it is for him because you wasn't born with a silver spoon in your mouth, first off. Second of all, pollution is real. Third, the educational system, because when he was a kid, the Board of Education didn't exist. We don't need no Board of Education. It wasn't there when I was a kid. He did, when he was a kid, he did great. But he went to the best schools. He had money. So no, everybody doesn't need an education in Donald Trump's world because that's not what it was when he was growing up. Everybody didn't have all of these tax credits. The middle class got by with what it was and nobody complained about it. We just struggled. But for him, it was okay because he had money. And everybody did. Everybody was happy. Everybody got by like we do now. But what he's trying to do is bring us back there. And this is not the same world. As a matter of fact, a lot of people got freedoms that we didn't have back then. But if he wants this world back, people can't have those freedoms. So for him to be able to relive that time in his life, people have to lose freedoms. So he's stripping freedoms away, not because he wants to hurt people, but because for him, that was the greatest time of his life and he wants to relive it. If I was 70 years old, I'd want to live back in my 20s. I want to go back to my first love. I want to, you got your kids, so you don't want to lose everybody you have. But those are great moments, man. College is great. You had great times in high school. You did something stupid in high school that you don't tell your kids about. You had a lot of fun. He wants to relive that energy. A lot of people are going to get hurt because he's doing that. But that's what's happening. But Dion's back, and I got one last question for him. I'm glad you was able to make it back today. So these tariffs that Donald Trump imposed, are you still happy about them?
Well, so far, I haven't really seen the impact that people are saying either way, good, bad, or otherwise. So I know I've heard things going up, but that's about it. It's not the end of the world.
Okay, so you're finally admitting the price increases. We've made some progress. A
I've
lot of your
heard.
MAGA party are starting to be turned off by the price increases. So, but Donald Trump said that he's got $17 trillion from
Yes, I saw
tariffs.
that. Yes, and it hasn't been publicly reported. So yes, I do agree with that. I'm curious too. So you see certain things here and there in certain sectors, but yes. Just like Doge had a report, so some public transparency would help in this area to defend the president either way.
Here's the thing. Here's the truth. Not only
Well,
was there not transparency of where the money went, but the American people haven't seen it. We haven't felt it. And when the departments that would have received the money, such as the Department of Treasury, all of the people that would have seen the money are asked about it, nobody's seen the money. Mm-hmm. Now, I say, because math, that in the way the law works, I think also math, the way the law works. If he was doing the things that he said he was doing, and he placed these tariffs, it's a tax on the American people. So the money's coming out of our pocket. So if he did collect this money, it came from us, right? What just happened? Oh, okay. So if he did collect that, so he bankrolled the $17 trillion from the American people. Is that good or bad?
well, we don't know because we don't know where it went and how it's being accumulated. So we have to wait and see on that one. But that is a fair question. I will give you that. Where is the 17 million in the grand scheme of things? All things in the tariff war. Where are the spoils of us winning?
You do know that we didn't collect no 17 trillion, right?
Well, that's what's being investigated or being questioned. So,
Well, let's pull up another number. What is the national deficit?
I don't know. There's a clock for that.
I need to pull up that number. It's 36 trillion, I think, but I want to be precise. I think it's 36 trillion last I checked. Oh, I'm wrong. It's 34 trillion.
Okay. You can't
So
always be right.
huh?
You can't always be right. Well, go ahead.
Well, just for clarity purposes, we like to share our screens. U.S. Treasury fiscal data .gov. You like the .gov. You said .gov. According to the .gov, 34 trillion. Right? That's the debt. Our debt is 34 trillion. He said that in tariffs, we have collected half of our national debt. So then why are we still 34 trillion in the hole?
Fair question. I give you that. It's a fair question.
So it's either one of two things. It's really only one of two things. He's lying or he pocketed the money.
What?
And
Well,
there's no way
that's the bell scandal. That's a big
and I'll go as far as to say there's no way he pocketed $34 trillion.
Thank you.
So he just pulled the number out of his ass.
Trump being Trump with his hyperbolic guesstimates.
I will agree with you on that being Trump. I'll agree with that 100%.
Good.
He just rambling stuff off. There is no $17 trillion collected from tariffs. American people are hurting. He's keeping the tariffs on because them tariffs is helping to pay the billionaire tax cuts. That's what the tariff money is for. He's putting it on us. He's saying he's trying to bring jobs back. But in reality, he's funding the trillionaire tax cuts by taxing the American people. We can't even get reasonable health care like every other. You can't go to another civilized country on the face of the earth and they don't have health care. We're the only stupid country that calls themselves civilized and don't have tax health care and don't have health care for our people. We're the only one, literally the only ones.
We just need 5 more votes and hopefully we can figure that out later. How's that sound?
Yes, 5 more votes would put you in a different position. And it would crush the Democratic Party completely and the American people along with it. But $17 trillion was not collected. The money for the tariffs is literally going directly into the pockets of billionaires. And no one else has reported this. You're going to hear it. You heard it here first, because I'll be 100% honest with you. I just figured it out. I was trying to figure it just dawned on me what happened. So you haven't heard it anywhere. We're going to be doing it. I'll be talking about it a little bit more. Then you're going to start seeing other people report on it. But first, we're going to be on the shutdown. So it's going to be a minute before they start talking about it. But I promise you, the main channels, other YouTube channels are going to be talking about this, because we figured out where the tariff money is going. We did it here first at Think Tank. So we got to come together. We got to throw stuff back and forth. We got to build, and we figured out where the tariff money is going. That's a great job. And no, it wasn't no $17 trillion, because that would have erased half the national debt, which, by the way, was increased in the one big bad bill that Hakeem Jeffries wants to call a big ugly bill. Bub. You know what? I'll go for it. Bub. Okay, Hakeem, you like that one? Mr. Jeffries? Bub, the big ugly bill. Wow. So during the Bub bill, the national debt ceiling was increased in order to help pay for those tax breaks.
Oh gosh.
No, that's outright in the bill. Is that something you'd argue?
No, I thought you may increase the deficit. Sorry. So
yes, that's in the bill. You didn't know that? Really?
Increase the national debt is what you're saying.
Yes. Oh my God.
And the tariffs also increased the national debt.
No.
Because I'm trying to see the correlation you're making, or you're just segueing into something else to blame Trump.
No, it was it's in the bill. What is it? Control. It's not search, control. Yeah, find. What did I say? National debt. What is it called? National debt. There's 7 references to it. So national defense. No, I saw it. I don't remember what it's called. It's not it. Deficit. Let's try deficit. It's been a minute since I looked at this. Deficit is not in there. I'm spelling it wrong. Oh man, I don't remember how it was worded. Oh, this 118 increase. I don't remember how it was worded. You're going to get away this time. I assure you.
Find 5 votes. 5 votes. That's 5 votes. Unless the Democrats have an idea. So
I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, well, what's your report on that? And investigate those guys.
Well, if I was going to investigate something, it would be which Republican is it that sided with the Democrats?
That's interesting too. Yes, I'm curious as well.
I'm willing to bet it's the one that said that he's not going to run again next year, because he's the only one who doesn't care. Everybody else is under Trump's thumb. Who is he, from North Carolina, correct? Well,
I don't have the figures up here. I mean, I could pull it back up. I got to find it again, which is the 60 votes Senate vote.
Debt ceiling.
Senate vote on spending bill. That's what you got to look up there. Tracker. You just always put tracker. That's a good vocabulary word.
Trying to find it in the bill.
Senate vote. Government shutdown. Senate vote. Government shutdown tracker. Or 2025. Let's see. It's always a tracker. Maybe Forbes has it. Let's see if Forbes has it.
Okay.
Not Forbes. No, that's an ad blocker. Let's see.
Wow, borrow was in the bill 142 times. How about that? Borrow is in the big, beautiful bill 142 times. I don't remember how it's called when the government is borrowing now. This is for us for mostly student debt. It's all student debt. All 142 times. They made 142 regulations on people being able to borrow money. So for us, for the regular people, that's crazy. 142. Did you find what you was looking for?
No, I didn't actually, because I had a nice graph, but I can't find it on this thing. Let's see, what's the hell? Yeah, I can't find it. I gotta look at my history now. Damn it! That's what I like about Microsoft Explorer. I mean, Bing. It doesn't have the same kind of history. Forbes, is it? Forbes?
Well, I will say this while you're doing that, just to keep the audience occupied. The fiscal impact and criticism, the national debt, the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, estimated the bill would add 3.3 to 4.1 trillion to the national debt over 10 years, depending on the estimates. Critics emphasize that this increase primarily financed tax breaks for the wealthy and corporations. So we raised 17 million in tariffs, and the bill is supposed to be 3.3 to 4.1 trillion, even though we didn't possibly raise $17 trillion. That's a number he literally pulled out his tailpipe.
Rand Paul, he's very, very infamous in the GOP side. Rand Paul voted no. So you see, if you come up here to the track on CNN, these are CNN's numbers. You put all the votes are diverse, but now you want to see where the votes are. Who are the people that voted no? It goes to no, and you scroll down my party. You look for the R. Where's the R? Rand Paul, Kentucky. You should look at the Rand Paul. And
I'm surprised Rand Paul voted against it, honestly.
There's Uncle Bernie.
Rand Paul broke from the Republicans?
Yes, I thought Mitt Romney. Is Mitt Romney still around? Let's see who voted yes. Mitt Romney.
I'm shocked.
I don't think Mitt Romney's around anymore. Mitch McConnell voted yes. He's a robot. Let's see what Democrats voted yes. John Fetterman out of Pennsylvania. Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada voted yes. 2 Democrats. What independent voted yes? Let's see. Maine. Angus King. You see, the internet is full of answers. You just have to ask the right questions. Well, everybody, that's the think tank.
I'm surprised that a Democrat from Nevada, like right now, Nevada's the swing vote that's releasing the Epstein files, which, by the way, some people feel is a major reason that he doesn't want reconvening of the Congress, because now that they have the 218 vote, they can force a vote on the floor, because right now it's just in committee, which is, they have little committees on the side. The committee got to be like, yes, and they can bring it for everybody to vote, bring it to the floor. So then the committee on the side, like, yo, we want to release these Epstein files. We need this many votes. Now they just got the last vote. They don't want to swear her in. Like, she won in a special election in Nevada, and they're like, nah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to swear her in. So ever since she won, the Republicans haven't come back since she won. So the Democrats feel that the major reason that they want to hold a shutdown and the Republicans are out to lunch is because they, just like over the summer, they didn't want to vote in the committee. Now they just don't want to vote. And that's what the Democrats really think. Republicans are running away from the Epstein vote that's finally going to expose Donald Trump and all how bad Donald Trump really was. That's what the Democrats, and I can't argue that. I mean, I thought the shutdown might have other things included, but let us not forget, let us not be neglectful and forget to mention that they now have enough votes to release the Epstein files. And ever since she won weeks ago now, the Republicans have been out to lunch. They had not come back to the floor to vote. If this was Texas, they'd be arresting people. And if people doing it were black in Texas, they'd be locking them up, not coming to work and doing their jobs, because that's what they do to black people.
Wow.
You're in Texas. You know that's true down there, because that's what they did to that, right?
I'm in Houston, Texas. And the thing about it is, remember, the Democrats actually skipped town in the Texas legislature to flee to other states.
The same thing that the Republicans are doing now. Same thing Republicans have been doing for 2 weeks.
But the leader has done it, not individuals themselves.
No. Not true.
The Speaker of the House had the authority to actually end the session. So,
how long can he end the session? He ended the session early and brought in an early break back at the beginning of summer. Now
it's his prerogative. As for individuals going rogue and organizing themselves not to come to work, that's a separate case. That's breaking quorum.
So you call it what you want. At the end of the day, they don't want to vote on this Epstein thing because it's going to expose Trump.
Well, we have to find out, because they've had this Epstein thing for years now, and the Democrats were in control. Could use it then.
The Democrats weren't not coming to work to avoid voting for it. They're ready to vote right now. The Republicans won't show up. They won't come to work. Our tax dollars is paying them. They're still getting paid. On the shutdown, they're still getting paid. They're off to lunch.
Well, remember, that's not really at stake here. What's at stake here is giving Trump the time he needs to fire as many people he wants permanently. No more furloughs, and they're bringing his own people. That's the end game here, as I see it. But we're going over to 2 hours now, my friend, the think tank. But thanks, fans, for coming in here. I think we still have 1,500.
Thank everybody. We appreciate you. We're going to get ready to get out of here and let y'all go 1,800. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you immensely. We're going to end the night. So this is Leo and Dion signing out. Thanks for coming. Peace.